Hey everyone, it's Peak. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Pokemon Unite video. Actually going to be playing some Greninja today in the jungle. Very good game. I really enjoyed this one, so hopefully you guys do too. And we're just going to kind of talk about it from a macro perspective, some things that happen as well from a micro level in fights and stuff. And I think it's just a really good showcase. Obviously, you missed the first 30 seconds of the game, but it's nothing too exciting when you're jungling. Just taking the optimal jungle pathing. If you guys haven't seen me do this before, I've talked about it sometimes, but what I kind of really like to do is do this kind of C-shaped core fish jungle pathing. Now, it depends on which side of the map you're on. This time we were on the grass side. If you're on the dirt side and you want to, I mean, it just depends on the lane you want to gank first. But in this case, I was actually planning on ganking bottom lane first, but I saw a really huge opening in the top side. So I just rushed up there with the speed berries in the middle of the map, and we get a double kill there. So really good. The core fish are just now spawning. So this is obviously a great time for me to take these. But we don't want to linger too long because you see my jungle on this core fish up here that I just took a minute ago has already respawned. As I've mentioned before many times, and as I'm sure you guys know, at this point they do respawn every minute, so making sure you're hitting these optimal jungle timers is super important, and you'll see that this really helps us get a very early lead. So we're already going to be level 7 very quickly here, and again, we're taking the jungle path that allows us to gank bottom lane because I do see that our Wigglytuff has died in the bottom side, so we want to make sure that we really help out the bottom lane here because they are getting kind of collapsed on here. You see I'm a little late, don't quite make it there, and unfortunately the Cinderace, I don't even know, like, I wasn't even really panning my mini-map over there, so you couldn't really see, but I'm not even sure how my shurikens didn't really connect. I don't think he had score shield. I think I just underestimated the amount of time that they had been scoring, so a bit unfortunate there. I lose my buffs, but we get a 1-for-1 there. So really just waiting for my jungle to respawn now, because as you guys are looking at the timer, I came back here around 8:40. So this core fish should be spawning right about now, which I realized, and of course that's why I kind of walked back towards over here. So it's just really about optimizing these timers. You see I'm already at level 8. Dreadnought's going to spawn in 20, but we're in a really good position to possibly be close to level 9 before the first Dreadnought, which is really important, especially as the jungler. You want to give your team as big of an advantage as possible in the first Dreadnought fight, because that's really where the momentum either changes as you being on the defensive or you being on the offensive, right? So thankfully, actually, because, well, not thankfully, we still don't like the fact that they broke our bottom goal, but because they broke the bottom goal there, I actually was able to get an extra core fish, which just allowed me to get level 9. And have the experience I needed to be level 9. So you see, we do a lot of damage there. Fun thing I've always talked about with Water Shuriken is that even when you're asleep or you're stunned, or even if you're dead, the Water Shurikens still shoot out of your body. So I was still doing damage to the Wigglytuff and the Cinderace there, even though Wigglytuff had put me to sleep. I kill Wigglytuff with Shuriken, and then I'm doing a lot of poke damage to Cinderace while I'm asleep, using Water Shuriken. So basically I have no DPS downtime, which is really just such a great thing about Water Shuriken. You definitely, if you know you're going to be CC'd, like if a Wigglytuff is running towards you and you don't have double team or smoke screen up or eject button, you're not going to be able to really get out, right? So what you want to make sure you're doing is holding your Water Shuriken actually until, you know, you're about to be CC'd. And make sure you're aiming at an enemy, obviously, because if you do, you will actually be doing damage while you're asleep, or while you're slept, or while you're CC'd, while you're stunned, or even if you die. Yeah, that'll happen. So you'll see here the real power of Water Shuriken. Obviously, I do have to use my eject button here, but I got 2/3 people chasing me, and you'll see just like how crazy this can be. So yeah, we're able to really clutch out the kills here. Unfortunately, Wigglytuff does pop her eject button, so my Water Shurikens don't sustain me enough to withstand the power of a Pentaslap to the face. So, but yeah, we definitely trade at an advantage there. My team is pushing hard on the top side, and you know, we're like winning across the map right now, so it's pretty decent. It's okay that I die there, honestly. It honestly resets my my kill streak, so it's actually probably pretty good to not have these super long death timers that are just stacking up the more kills I get. So they are getting really pushed in the top side. Personally, I don't really care about the top goal. I've talked about this before. The top goal isn't super important, especially when Dreadnought's about to spawn in 20 seconds. We definitely want to be positioned for this. So taking up the farm to make sure that the enemy team gets none of these core fishes and none of this stuff in the middle of the map as they're coming is really important. So I really want to talk about this too. The fact that I'm able to poke from range against 4 people, obviously 2 of my teammates just showed up as well, but I'm able to do so much as Greninja with Water Shuriken here, and I misplay it. This is a really big misplay, stepping just into the pixel frame of the Blastoise Unite move there is really, really unfortunate. I really would have been able to do a lot more. But yeah, unfortunately, since I get hit for like 2,400 damage there, you know, that's just how it goes. So our Wigglytuff manages to roll out in and get the steal. So this allows me to just really immediately use my Unite move. Obviously, when you get a large advantage like this, you want to capitalize on it by using Unite moves. It's really important that you do that. You see, I used eject button instead of double team there just to instantly get there in case I needed to Water Shuriken the Wigglytuff, but we were able to reach it with auto attacks. So not a big deal. Again, look at the death timers. The enemy team is just getting off respawn. I'm using my score shield here, but you see it barely doesn't make it. Like, actually pixel perfect. I was probably like a millisecond away from getting that. So a bit sad there. We're going to sidestep the surf here. It's really a very, like, visualized cooldown. If the Blastoise is running surf, which not many Blastoise do, to be fair, but if they are, definitely be aware of the fact that, you know, it's pretty easy to dodge, and it just walk to the side, really. So this is a really nice outplay. Obviously, as I mentioned, I'm stunned there, but I'm still healing and doing damage from my Water Shurikens, so I actually don't die against the Ninetales here. And immediately, since I know 3 of them are up there, I just get the recall off. You see, Wigglytuff was the only person who had the awareness to know that I was still there, but she's a little bit too late. So really, a really nice escape room situation there. I'm just gonna poke down this Rotom. The thing about Water Shuriken Greninja is it's the highest DPS in the game. So like against a thing like Rotom, you see it just disappears in pretty quickly. So there's honestly no reason for me to let it in because we're really just farming up at this time. If there were our entire jungle up and like some Aldinos on the side, I may have just let it go. But there was really just no point in me doing that. I don't get my Water Shuriken off, so I'm not able to, like I mentioned, do the damage while I'm asleep. I really don't want to use my eject button here because, you know, it's right before the Zapdos fight, and you never know when you're going to have to, like, use it. So, you see, I'm kind of, like, kind of in a tough, bit of a tough spot here. So, I'm actually going to use it here. And thankfully, we clutch it out. We do get a critical hit and melee attack. I think if I don't get the critical hit there, I actually die because Lucario would get another auto reset or just a power-up punch. So, thankfully, we crit there. It's not a big death timer on Lucario, but they are dead during Zapdos. So at this point, we're definitely winning. Our Wigglytuff just scored a lot, and my plan is to score as well, to just kind of solidify our lead and make it so we really just have to defend. Because we do have 4 Unite moves up. Cram's the only one that doesn't have their Unite move. And what I'm really doing here is just trying to get level 15. Because level 15, you get a huge attack speed boost. Every single level, you get an attack speed boost, but it's just something you definitely want to be aware of as a character like Greninja or Cinderace. Attack speed is really important, and being level 15 really makes a huge difference compared to 14. Like, it's probably the biggest level gap in the entire, like, in the entire state of the game. So again, like, I'm asleep while those shurikens are hitting, but it allows me to sustain just enough health to survive that Wigglytuff duel there. And thankfully, you know, the rest of my team is kind of cleaning up. I do see the Cinderace here, so need to make sure I go back on that. They use Feint, Blaze Kick, and immediately, so it's a really easy cleanup. They definitely probably, if you're Cinderace there, you definitely want to save your cooldowns just to get away. You probably don't want to spam Feint and Blaze Kick right away. You know, you want to time those correctly to maybe hit like my engage with Water Shuriken and stuff like that. But I'd already used Water Shuriken, so I think if they probably would have, you know, held that on a little bit longer, they might have dodged some more damage from me. But yeah. So anyway, not a big deal because we're going to score 100, and our Wigglytuff just scored a bunch in the top side too. So at this stage, you know, like, we're definitely far ahead. We're definitely winning. But they are just kind of concentrated in this choke point. To see, like, I'm able to do quite a lot of damage. I'm going to use my eject button here again, and I trust my teammates to get the opponents that went to the side there. I'm going to snipe the Blastoise with Water Shuriken in the bush up top, and just thanks to double team's low cooldown, I'm going to be able to catch that Wigglytuff, which didn't really matter. It's not like she was going to make it to our goal anyway, although I guess she would have had enough time, but I would have caught up to her at the goal. But still, super important to be aware of, like, where your teammates are and who can handle which kills. Obviously, I was in the best position to chase down that Blastoise and Wigglytuff to ensure they didn't score. The rest of my team was good to get the Lucario and the Ninetales, I believe, who got off to the right side of where I was there in the Zapdos pit. So pretty good game, 16 kills, a lot of damage, a lot of goals scored, and just really solid defense there at the end, I think. Good showcase of just how you kind of want to play that. So GG's to my teammates, GG's to my opponents. Very well played on both sides. It was a really good game. The Master games recently have been pretty solid, I think, like with the exception here and there of like, wow, this game was absolutely awful. You know, it happens. So 1444 after this game. That's, I think I'm like 1420 right now or something like that. 420 blazing. But yeah. So anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoy the gameplay. Just a little water shuriken play for you. Just, I think some really good showcases there of how, you know, the poke damage and the sustain from water shuriken really just can come in clutch so many times. It's like an inherent focus band, and which is why I'm running Score Shield now instead of focus band. Because with water shuriken, it's just so good, and you have so much sustain that I mean, if you're dead, you're dead. You don't really need the focus band. So I'm actually thinking about experimenting with some other items in the future once I get them leveled up, which I don't think are as good, but you know, I kind of want to experiment with them in the future. So look forward to future videos there. Stay subscribed, you guys. Appreciate you watching as always, and appreciate you guys. Hope you have a nice day. See you in the next one. Peace.